Hello again, everyone. I want to give you guys another update after I gave you the one last week where I was a little bit tired and run down and a little short on sleep here and there and everything, and things have gone better. I started taking a little bit more vitamins, and things have been going well with the Unisom stuff, and I've been getting some more consistent nights of sleep to really get my energy back where it needs to be. Sorry if I'm a little sweaty in this video. I did just shoot a Blu-ray news video, and it gets really warm in the room with a lot of the lights on and everything and stuff like that, so sorry my hair is not exactly great, and if I start going profusely, that's why. I'm a little warm. The room's a little trying to cool down a little bit. But anyway, with that, I'm better. Things are getting better. Things are improving and stuff like that, so I've got more energy during the day, and so things are well. So things are well. So like I promised the last time, there'll be less stuff with channel update stuff, a little bit stuff, but mostly media pickups. There aren't too many, but let's just get away with some of the channel update stuff, because did just upload the review for Lights Out, the 2016 horror film, which was produced by James Wan, directed by David S. Sandberg, who did later on Annabelle Creation, is now doing the Shazam movie. So you can check that out, what I thought about that film, in the mini review that I just posted up. If you haven't seen it already, I did do a review on the film The Driver, which was directed by Walter Hill. The film he did right before he did The Warriors, and this is a film that influenced Nicholas Winding Refn on Drive, Edgar Wright on Baby Driver. It probably influenced a lot of other people as well, so definitely a very influential film towards the creation of some more recent hits that people have really much taken a great liking to and everything, and saw as very inspired, very entertaining type of films, whatnot, or very introspective type of films with Drive and everything, Ryan Gosling film. So if you want to get a little bit more origin about where those ideas for those films came from, the inspiration came from, that film is very much the genesis towards where those filmmakers took that sort of template of an idea and went off in different genres and different styles and different tones with it. So that's definitely a film that's very much exceptional one to really get into. And let's move on from there and everything. Sorry, I'm a little jumbled up in my head. I've still got Blu-ray news floating through my head here, but something I actually forgot to mention in it that you haven't yet seen, so I'm telling you it first, and then you'll see the news video afterwards. But the MTV Rewind Collection release of Van Damme film Lionheart apparently had an issue with the audio on the theatrical cut of the film, because I was trying to watch this a couple of weeks ago and noticed the audio track sounded very flangy. It had a very tinny sound to it with all the sound effects. Sound they were run through like a flange filter or whatnot, and just sound really, really bad. So the company's been working on it for like the last month or whatnot to fix the details and fix up the audio track and get new disc press and everything. So they have posted up on their Facebook page how to go about getting your replacement discs. Apparently it's a little more difficult if you're outside of the U.S., but you're pretty much going to have to go through the retailer you got them from, but get the information directly from them. I already sent in my my photo and my receipt from Deep Discount to them, so they process it right quick, and they're sending it out. Probably should be here maybe by the end of the week to get my new discs and be able to watch this properly. There's an extended cut on the film, but it's kind of cobbled together from not the best sources, so considering I'd never watched the film before, I really wanted to watch the theatrical cut. And again, this bad audio experience was not the way to do it, so I stopped watching a little bit through it and just looked up and found the information that they were aware of it and are making progress. And they were very much upset that this thing got through, flawed and everything, very screwed up. So they're very, very strongly motivated to make sure that this got corrected for their followers, their fans, their supporters, their customers and everything. So definitely going to be looking forward to getting that replacement disc and be able to watch this film proper. And interesting thing is that I did watch some of the supplemental stuff they shot for this whole thing, and it was kind of okay. A lot of the information is really good in it, but apparently some of the didn't find all the technical quality of how the thing shot and how they produced it. The whole thing was terribly great. Some of the stuff was just like they put the subject right dead center in the frame and just have light pouring in from a window or whatnot, sunlight or whatnot. It seemed a little bit amateurish in a certain way, not knock it down that far. but there was some problems with it in terms of production quality. And apparently, I don't think they actually shot Van Damme's interview himself. I think they, because he's got this printout in front of him the whole time, where he's reading from it half the time. So I think they emailed him a bunch of questions. He printed it out, had someone set up a camera, and the audio was bouncing all over the room, this giant freaking dining room he's in. It sounds terrible. And so hopefully they'll get better with this. But did mention I picked up Lord of Illusions, and when I was kind of dealing with the crime thriller supernatural thing I was bouncing around in my head with, but I was sitting down and watching, it's not as good as I kind of felt it was. It's more I think it's more of a film that I like the idea of it, the sort of melding of supernatural horror with a detective noir type of thing, and just kind of watching, I felt like it was a little lackluster in some places. I didn't think it was cinematography-wise as strong as it could be. I think I've always had sort of a problem with Scott Bakula's performance in some places. I love him as an actor, but sometimes you don't get him right in his zone of the character and whatnot, and sometimes it doesn't feel quite as good as it could. So there's a few things I don't... When I did that review way back in 2013 on the channel, I would definitely change some opinions about that, because I think it's more of just... I like the ideas, the sort of vibe the film gave off of some of the characters and the ideas, stuff like that. Conceptually, I think it's a really intriguing film. I don't think it's executed as strongly as it possibly could. So if I were to do a re-review, not saying that I am, there'd be very different opinions to want to express of it now. But regardless of that, because I was doing the whole thing with the James Wan stuff, want to do a review of Conjuring 2, I did upgrade my... I had this on DVD. I upgraded to the Blu-ray, and luckily it had the lenticular slipcover on it and everything. So got that for a decent price. I think it was about $10. But so I got that on Blu-ray. And a couple weeks ago, I was kind of in the middle of my funk. I think it was like right after the big weekend where everything just kind of went right downhill or whatnot. I was kind of sitting around and just not being much into anything. I was just trying to cleanse things out, and I started, for whatever reason, just Danny Elfman's Batman score just kind of started coming into my head, and I started playing some of the music. I started getting a little bit jazzed up about it, so I went ahead and bought the Blu-ray pack of the 4 films. I had the original box set of the DVD sets, and I saw that it was kind of pretty much the same thing here. These all got the exact same features, content, all that type of stuff from those old DVD sets. So I sold that off with a stack of stuff that I got like $25 for. So that was good. I finally cleaned out a whole bunch of stuff. I got rid of some Blu-rays. I went over in the Blu-ray collection saying I bought this and I have never watched this. So I got rid of those. I got rid of that stuff because it's just sitting there for like 2 years. I haven't watched it. Get rid of it. Luckily, some of the stuff I still have digital copies of, so I can still watch it if I want to. But I grabbed this up, and I did watch the first film again in HD. I did, it was a little under 2 years ago, because this was when I think Marcus Theaters was still doing a couple of the retro film series and whatnot. They actually were showing 1989's Batman, and that's the one I'd never seen at the theater. Because the first one I saw was Batman Returns with my dad in '92, in the summer of that. Because in '89 I was only 9 years old, and my parents really weren't comfortable sending me off to see the first Batman film because they felt it was probably a little too dark. I don't know, whatever it was, it's parenting, you know. And they just felt like it was a little too dark, a little too much of a film, intensely subject matter wise, tonally, to really kind of give me the experience in the theater. But we did get the VHS at Christmas and everything, but I hadn't seen it theatrically, and so, but a little under 2 years ago, I did rectify that and finally saw it in the theater. So I've seen every live-action Batman film from '89 onwards in the theater, as well as Mask of the Phantasm. So you got that. So I was just listening to more of the score today, just sitting around. It's like, man, that score from Danny Elfman starts putting ideas in my head. I don't know. I'm not saying I'm going to do a review of it, but if I sit down for an afternoon and start listening to the soundtrack ad nauseum, something's gonna happen from it. You know it is. So I was like, I want to do the review of the first Batman just so we can get the Batman Returns, because I got a lot more things to say about Batman Returns that I'm more enthusiastic to say about. So we'll see what happens. I'm not saying anything for certain, but we got stuff coming around. But from what I can gather, because it's been a while, and I had shot another update at a certain point, but I didn't feel as strongly about it. So just trying to remember what I have and haven't said before. But what I can recall, that's what I've grabbed up in recent weeks or whatnot. But today, as I record this, the Scream Factory version of In the Mouth of Madness was released, but I didn't yet have the money ahead of time to pre-order it or anything like that. So as today comes, Amazon sold out, Deep Discount sold out, FYE.com is sold out, and anywhere else I was looking, Target and Best Buy and Fry's.com, Fry's Electronics website, everyone's going to take like a week to a week and a half for the thing to be shipped out to me, for it to arrive and everything. It was annoying the shit out of me, because I went out, I just checked, I went out to my local Best Buy just to check for the hell of it, because you just fucking never know. Even though they said they didn't have it, they weren't carrying it in stores, I just figured it doesn't hurt to try. Then I went to one mall, then I went to another mall, then I went to another mall. I checked 3 different FYE stores, absolutely none of them had it. Even though someone on Blu-Ray.com's forum said that, or Facebook post Scream Factory had up, I was commenting about, are there any retailers holding this in stores or whatnot, and one guy replied they did see a copy in his local FYE, but it was a complete bust. I could not find it anywhere. So that got me into a bit of a mood. But someone on the Blu-Ray.com forum, where I was kind of commenting on things about how it was sold out at retailers, kind of upsetting when a company kind of underestimates the popularity of a title, because it's sold out in a lot of different places, back ordered. You can't get it from some retailers right now. And so he gave me a link to another website called bullmoose.com, which I guess they're located in Maine. They had it for under $22, and I could get priority mail shipping for $4.99. So I did order from there, so hopefully it should be here by the end of the week, probably Friday. So it's usually 2-day priority mail, and it said it was going to ship on Wednesday, which is tomorrow. So that works out. I should have it by Saturday to watch everything and hopefully work on my Redux review of it, because I kind of want to do a Redux review and kind of talk at least a bit about the Blu-ray set as well as an answering thing. Not too much at length, but just a little bit of stuff there at the tail end of the video. So just to give people a little overview of the quality of it and let them know. So generally I want to talk about the film freshly, because I did do a review again back in 2013. But a lot of the stuff that review was very interesting, because I was trying to close off Forever Horror Month, do this whole countdown of, at the time, I felt were my top 5 favorite horror films of all time. That would radically change now. So you go back and watch those are not holding up to what I would say today, because I'd say stuff like The Changeling, which is getting that brilliant 4K remaster out soon. Stuff like that would definitely hit the top, at least in the top 10. Stuff like Hellraiser, even with its flaws here and there, I still love it. There's a difference between Lord of Illusions and Hellraiser. Hellraiser I'll watch. I just watched it again a few months ago. Despite the few little cheap edges on the film, little rough spots, the strength of that film is so strong that anything that's a little bit falls off here and there, with like the engineer creature in the hallway, stuff like that. Some things are a little low budget, a little not great. Everything else shines so far above that I can just go on. So like Hellraiser would definitely be in the top 10, with The Changeling, a few other things here and there. I'd really have to reassess that very strongly, but not saying I'm doing a top 10 video or anything like that. But if you went back and watched those videos some people have lately, those are not a definite 5-year later hold up to my standards of what I would still consider to be my top 5 favorite horror films of all time. But In the Mouth of Madness was shot as the last video at like 7 o'clock on Halloween night, where I'm the only one in the house. I got to keep running downstairs every few minutes to answer the door as people are ringing the doorbell for trick-or-treating and everything. So I'm shooting the video, running downstairs, answering the door, going back up and down, ruining takes in the process. I got it shot, edited, and uploaded within like 4 fucking hours. So that is not the best. That's not the best thing. It's not the best thing. Because I was also racing against the clock because I wanted to go see a special screening of Halloween at midnight. So I had to get all this shit done in like 4 or 5 hours. And it just, there was no two ways about it. So it was very rushed. It's probably not the best representation of things. It's only about like 10 minutes long, which I'll see how long this one goes. But regardless of that, I've already wanted to reduce some of those reviews because stuff like The Howling as well. I think a lot of the presentation back then was really bad. I was really doing this sort of very over-the-top type of thing where I was just trying to be like overly spooky type of atmosphere. The lighting does enough now. I don't need to be doing that type of over-the-top spooky voice or whatnot. Doing like a Christopher Lee type of voice or something like that. Whatever it is. Some cheapo shit. I don't need to be doing that. So presentation has changed a lot over the years, and I think it deserves an update with this new Scream Factory release. I'll be getting a lot. We got new commentaries, we got new featurettes. I get a lot more fresh information from the film where there has been a real lack of information, a lot of stuff to pull on in previous years all this time to really get a lot of detail and behind the scenes stuff about the film. So it'll be interesting to sit down and watch this thing, get nice and fresh, and hopefully produce a new review of it as timely as I can with this new release out. So if I had the money a couple weeks ago, I maybe would have done the pre-order from Scream Factory's website, got it sooner, but then I would have still been in the middle of that whole downtrodden, sleep-deprived type of thing, and I probably wouldn't have gotten anything done anyway. But regardless of that, I got influx of cash, and I got things going off well. I got my YouTube ad revenue payout, which happens like twice a year, so I don't make a whole lot doing this, guys. So anyway, like that type of stuff. Anyway, so In the Mouth of Madness Redux review is something I'm jazzed about. Once I get that in my hands, I should have the weekend to work on it and really get going on it. And Steve and I are agreeing together on Thursday to record commentaries for Halloween H2O and Halloween Resurrection. So we're back on track with that. And we're way ahead of schedule. So we got like another 2 months before October even arrives, and we're almost through the franchise. So I haven't seen the zombie films in the franchise, the Rob Zombie movies, so I don't know. Steve definitely has. I don't know. I don't know if I have the desire to watch those, because I just don't like Rob Zombie's films, straight up. I saw House of a Thousand Corpses. The only thing I liked in it was Sid Haig, and I did not like Devil's Rejects. I know a lot of people have a fascination with that film. I just did not like it at all. And since then, I just haven't bothered. So I just decided he's not my style. He's not my taste. He doesn't appeal to me. So him doing a Halloween film just feels very much like I'm just setting myself up to hate it. Not something I like to go into a film doing, but when I've got a precedent of a filmmaker, I just do not like what he does with content. It's hard to go towards that and everything, and blah. So Halloween H2O, Halloween Resurrection will definitely be a fun time. And when the new film comes out, I might do my own review of it. I don't know. But whenever it does come out on Blu-ray, we will sit down and do a commentary jointly with that. So you'll definitely get that sort of thing. So I don't know if, like I said, I don't know if I'll do a review proper of it when it comes out in theaters. But Steve and I will definitely have time to mull things over by the time it gets hit on home video. And we can schedule out and sort out when we want to sit down and watch and comment on that. So that's our plans for the near future, and we'll see where things go out from there. But definitely have to watch The Fog, because Steve wants to do that. I've had the Blu-ray for a little bit, the Steelbook, so I'll definitely check that out. And here, there, and everything. So we'll see where things go. And like I mentioned, I did have the Brandon Lee film Rapid Fire on DVD. One thing struck me as I started recording this, because I didn't put in the Blu-ray news update, Twilight Time is releasing that on Blu-ray. I think it's like next month or so, so we'll see. I might just hold off until I get the Blu-ray to get in the best quality possible to sit down and watch that. We'll see what happens. So I gotta update a lot of stuff in terms of what's on my wish list and all that type of stuff, so I'm falling behind. So anyway, guys, I'm doing better. Hope you're doing well and you enjoyed everything I had to impart on you guys. So I'm definitely up upswing of things. So things are going well, and I'm going to try and get as much done in the near future as possible, so you get more commentaries and more reviews. So thanks much, guys. Take care. Bye bye.